I'm Blake.
I'm Emily.
And we've got a video today of our best burgers, including the Copper Chef pan here of Emily's. And so let's get started. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna go ahead and show you every ingredient that you're gonna need. Starting with our beef, what I like is a good fat content beef. So this is 80-20, also 85-15 is pretty good. So that's that, and I've gone ahead and defrosted it for the most part, but I still like it to be pretty cold. So got that. Next you're gonna need 1 egg for each pound of beef, and butter to butter and toast your buns at the end. Cracker crumbs, Ritz original crackers, otherwise you can go with a flavored Ritz. Haven't tried that yet, but original Ritz are good. And as far as toppings, we've got just ketchup and Miracle Whip, and lettuce, and the final thing would be your buns. I personally prefer Casey's. They're a good quality bun, and they hold up well to being toasted, and they're a good size as well. So for the 1/4 pound patties that I like to make, these are a good choice. So something like this or similar to this. Break our egg, and I'm just cracking it on the inside of the bowl like so. Should be good. Next, just to cut open the beef. And I'm gonna make these into, like I said, 1/4 pound patties. But if you don't want something quite that big, you can go with like a 1/5 pound or something like that. And you're just gonna kind of ball it up for starters and roll it in your egg wash. And then on a separate plate, we're gonna crush up some crackers and roll the ball in the cracker crumbs. And we're not so much making a crust with the cracker crumbs, but more of like a filling. And I figure about 2 or 3 crackers per patty. So we'll crush those up. Kind of a coarse grind. And then just roll your ground beef ball in the crackers. And I like to make a pretty thin patty. So really smush it down. I would guess about 4 or 5 inches in diameter, probably 4 inches, like that. And now, through the magic of television, we have our 4 hamburger patties. We're gonna go heat up the pan and get these cooking.
I just wanted to go over the Copper Chef pan here a little bit. Obviously, here's the pan. It came with 3 different knives, different ones, a nice bread one. It also comes with a vegetable rack. We haven't used this yet, but we do look forward to using it. It came with these little legs that go on there. Nice. And then also it came with this fryer rack, which also we haven't used yet, but we look forward to it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put the pan on the burner, and we put it on about medium-high heat, and we let that warm up for about 3 minutes.
So our pan is warm now, and I'm gonna go ahead and just put the patties in. And it won't necessarily, if you're using this particular pan, it doesn't necessarily sizzle right away, but I've learned that that does not mean it's not hot. And I'm just using this is a Walmart seasoning salt. It's pretty similar to like a Lowry's salt. Otherwise, just salt and pepper is fine. So we'll just evenly season. And I would guess just about 3 or 4 minutes per side. I've never actually timed it. I just kind of check them to make sure they're not burnt And usually by the end I'm shooting for like a medium rare or a medium. So we'll show what that looks like more towards the end here, but for this first half we're just going to cook without the lid. Then we'll flip them, re-season, and put the lid on. Here is the cheese I forgot to mention that we're using today. It's Sargento Provolone, and I think every time I've made these I've used some sort of a smoked provolone or a provolone. So that's what we've got. So just shooting for right in the middle here. There we go. And then I've just got butter or margarine. And just apply a nice even thin layer of that. And we can set these aside for later. Okay, at this point we've been, I would guess about 2.5 or 3 minutes is all. But I'm going to go ahead and just take a peek at one of our patties. That looks pretty close. I'll show you the color. We're just going to go a little bit longer. Just before it starts to get to like a dark color. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can just cook them to the consistency that you prefer. Okay, here's our coloration on the one side, and now we'll just season the underside. And optional step is to put the lid on at this point, which I like to do. It just helps keep all the flavor in there and any moisture. And coming up in a couple minutes we'll put our cheese on and let it melt on there nicely.
Alright, well now we're going to go ahead and put a slice of cheese per patty here on each one. And then we put on the lid and watch it until the cheese is melted. And then after that we go ahead and remove the patties and we drain the grease out a little bit. And then we'll come back and show you how we toast the buns.
Now I've got the heat cranked up to the highest setting, and I've let the pan get nice and hot. And I'll just take 4 buns at a time, face down, like so. And I just use my fingers, and be careful not to burn yourself, but check every now and then until the buns are toasted just right. And this is the beauty of the Copper Chef pan, is no sticking. So you can just pick it right up off of there. Okay, here they are. We've got the finished product all assembled. As far as what you didn't see, we just put some mayonnaise or Miracle Whip on each half of the bun. Then the patty, the lettuce, you just kind of peel off of a head of lettuce, and ketchup on top.